Welcome back to another Out of the Park 22 video. Those of you who have watched previously know that I'm a huge fan of Reds pitcher Luis Castillo, who in this sim is on the Phillies. You don't need to have seen the last episodes of the sim to watch this one. Basically, this episode's just about Luis Castillo. So what I've done is I've had some episodes recently where I went back and resimmed MLB history from 1984 to 2021 and did a bunch of episodes highlighting some of the star players and some of the weird things and some of the good teams in the resim of MLB history. And now in 2021 of this sim, Luis Castillo is 28, almost 29 years old. It's after the 2021 season, and he's got a chance to be an all-time great. I mean, he's a little old to make a run at records. He's only got a couple more years here, maybe of he's already past his prime age, but post-peak, he can still be really good for several more years. But I mean, look at these two seasons, and this is why we're going to sim ahead to see where he finishes. I mean, he put up 10 point. He's led the league in WAR the last two seasons, 10.3 and then 8.6, a 2.27 ERA. And where it gets interesting is with the Ks per nine of 14.2 and 14.3, 376 Ks in 238 innings in 2020 with the Phillies. So I mean, he set MLB records with some of these things. I'll go ahead and show you here on the leaderboards. He set single season records. So I'm wondering, how long can he keep this pace up? You can see here in 2020, his hits allowed per nine was 4.72. His strikeouts per nine last year, he probably broke his own record here, 14.28 Ks per nine in 2021. And also his opponent's average in 2020 was 151. So, I mean, just completely crazy, ridiculous numbers. Now his BABIP in 2020 was the lowest in the league, but safe to say, I think he was pretty good, and it wasn't just because of the BABIP. I mean, his BABIP bounced up to 317 the next season. He still led the league in WAR, and his FIP was 2.07. So, and he also won what? He won the Cy Young in 2020. Oh, he won a Gold Glove. He's made 2 All-Star games, and he's made a World Series. Or he won a World Series with the Phillies. He was drafted 8th overall by the Rays in 2016, and then he was traded, which I covered in one of the episodes, for Ronald Acuna, Kyle Lewis, and Jesus Luzardo to the Phillies. And he's now with the Phillies. I think he's in arbitration still, so he might be leaving them at some point here. Yeah, he's still arbitration eligible next season. So what I'm going to do is sim ahead 10 more years. So if you had more questions about the sim, we're now going ahead, all in the name of seeing if Luis Castillo can become an all-time great here, or if age will catch up to him before he can do that. So let's jump ahead like a decade and see where his career's at. Okay, so I went ahead 5 years. I couldn't help myself to check in on Luis in the middle of his career, and things are looking amazing still. He's led the league in WAR every year. ERA a couple of years, FIP minus every year, strikeouts and strikeouts per nine every year. Looks like he broke his own Ks per nine record that was 14.3, put up a 15.3 here to set a new record. And he had a 14.8 there, which would have been a new record. So he's 33. He's a free agent. He's put up a nice 69.1 WAR. He has a 2.68 ERA, a FIP minus of 58, an ERA plus of 163. His strikeouts are at 27.27. His career's Ks per nine are at 13.5. I have the aging speed set to normal on this, so I would expect some decline here at some point. Oh, and he did win. So he won the Cy Young in 20, 21, 22, 23. He did not win in 24. He won in 25. And again in 26, which was the most recent season. Only the 1 Gold Glove, only the 1 World Series. But he doesn't have any major arm injuries. He has a ruptured disc in his back, which was a real-life injury. No, I'm thinking I started this in 2021. Confusing my Sims. No, I was like, he did that? Okay. Also, it wouldn't be here on the injury history. So he had a major back injury. Other than that, nothing major. That's his only non-day-to-day injury. What's interesting is, and I don't know if this is a thing that happens with historical sims. I mean, obviously the salary is a little depressed. And I left the default settings. Maybe there's stuff I should have done. You guys who are historical Sims whizzes, which I am definitely not, can let me know. But the one thing that was interesting is, I mean, he just signed a bunch of 1-year deals. Like he signed a 1-year deal with the Giants, the Jays, the Dodgers, the Cardinals, and now he's a free agent again. Is that something that just like happens in Sims? In long-term Sims, are guys more likely to sign 1-year deals? I don't know. Maybe it's just an anomaly for him. But he's doing quite well. And just to take a look at the leaderboards here, let's go to the league history and the Hall of Fame. Do it this way again. And players retired and active. Let's go to all pitchers and check out where he's at on some career leaderboards. So obviously his 69 WAR or whatever it is isn't too high yet because he did come up at like an older age. There he is. He's down there with Randy Johnson. And so, but K's, like where is he there? And I don't remember how many I said he had. But there he is. So he's got 27-27 in terms of K's, which puts him on the third page here behind Ubaldo and PV. So say he gets, another 500. That'll put him a little over 3,200, which would put him on the top page here. Put him with, how many are here? Is it 20 or 25 a page? I can't remember. I don't think it tells you here. And I can't remember what the default is. So he's on pace. I mean, he's going to make some noise up in like the top 20 all time for strikeouts. Now, Ks per 9... Yeah, we're going to run into the filter problem here. I guess I could set a filter. No, that's not what I want. I guess I could customize a filter here and go to pitching stats. Actually, I haven't done this since I can't remember exactly. I know you can do the minimum, and I can't remember how to do it off the top of my head. I'll figure it out here. It's been a while since I've messed with filters. Like I do it once a year, like when the new game comes out, and I can't remember. But he's the all-time leader in Ks per 9, though. I mean, 1,800 innings. Nobody. Yeah, let's look at starters. Ks per 9. Luis, there he is. He's fourth, but I mean, clearly nobody here has thrown nearly as many innings. He got 13.5. The next guy with any amount of innings is Flaherty with 11.9. So he's got like over a strikeout and a half more per inning than the next closest guy. So it's not like he's just racking them up in a strikeout era, which I'm sure is part of it. But I mean, his strikeout to walk ratio is the greatest in the history of starting pitchers with no innings pitch limit. Like nobody who's even pitched like 9 innings can outdo this. Just an absolutely absurdly good career from Luis Castillo, and he's only 23. So I'm going to jump ahead another 5 years and just see what he continues to do. And also at the time, little teaser, I'm going to check out Mike Trout too. So let's go ahead another 5 years or so here. All right, so it's 2031 and Luis just retired at the age of 39. You can see 2026 was the last really dominant year that he had. I mean, I guess it's not fair. 6 WAR is still pretty dominant with a 2.95 ERA, but things went downhill pretty quickly by his mid-30s. And by downhill pretty quickly, I mean, he was still an above-average pitcher every year and borderline all-star pitcher for several years until his age 38 season. He led the league in strikeouts one more season, and his Ks per 9, I mean, jeez, what happened here? He went down to 6.2 Ks per 9 and 8.1 here, so it's definitely brought his career rates down a bit. But he ended with almost 3,500 strikeouts at 3,486. He ended with a 3.02 ERA, 2.89 FIP. His ERA plus was 141, a FIP minus of 67, 84.2 WAR. He didn't win any more Cy Youngs after 2026, but still just a dominant career. He did get a 3-year deal finally at the age of 36. Team stopped giving him a 1-year deal, and he signed a 3-year deal with Miami. He didn't have any major injury. He had a bunch of abdominal strains that were day to day, but he'd never had like a major arm injury. I thought maybe somewhere in here he had an arm injury plus old age, but he just kind of fell off a cliff, which is understandable given his age, given the wear and tear on his arm. And just in terms of career leaderboard and where he ended up. So I did go in and make a filter real quick before I started this video. I was like, oh, right, that's how you do that again. So let's go to retired and active players. We're going to go to starting pitchers, and we're going to make the time frame career and check out Mr. Luis Castillo. So K's, here he is right here. What? Maybe like 15th? Right between Walter Johnson and, of course, Drew Pomeranz, who racked up in 495 starts, 3,435 Ks. Now, he did fall off in Ks per 9 all the way down to 12, and then some guys who have pitched much fewer innings and are still in the prime of their career. Well, Dane Dunning isn't; he's still pitching. Was not a starter, so he was a reliever, so that doesn't really count, Dane. But Bjork and Johnson are both still young, so I think these Ks per 9 will come down as they get older, as Castillo's did. You can see Castillo pitched, as many innings as more innings than these three guys combined. But his Ks per 9 is 12, which is fourth best for all pitchers with over 500 career innings pitched. His strikeout to walk ratio is third behind Johnson and Dunning. And let's see, where was his ERA plus? Just outside the top 10. FIP minus, second all time to Johnson. So, yeah, one of the best pitchers ever. I think it's fair to say. Next, we're going to take a look at Mike Trout. It's 2031. I haven't even looked at him. I don't know if he's still playing, but I noticed as I was simming in the leaderboard that it shows you while you're simming, he was in the WAR leaderboard forever and ever. So he is 40. He is still playing. He's won 17 million MVP awards, it appears. Oh my goodness. 182.5 WAR, which is right around the all-time record. We covered that before in an earlier video. I can't remember what the record is. But we'll go look it up in a second. 679 home runs, 3,246 hits, an OPS plus of 162. Let's check out Mike Trout's career here. Let's look at the leaderboards first. We'll check out if he has any records for career or single season. So single season, there is no Mike Trout here. But Mike Trout is the career leader in WAR at 182.53. Way to go, Mike. Walks, he's the leader with 2320. He's the career leader in runs with 2408. It's interesting that he doesn't hold a single season record. Not even one, I should say. So, and if you go to the players tab here and look at all batters and good stuff and clear that filter. Are we looking at careers here? No. All right. So we need to go back to the time frame to be careers and see where Mr. Trout falls here on some of these things. So, okay. So he's outside like the top 25 in hits. That's surprising since he came up when he was 19. He never led the league in hits, so I guess that's one thing. Oh, how many MVPs did he win? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many consecutive? 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So he won, 6 in a row there? I mean, look at how many times he led the league in WAR and WRC+. But hits he never led in. So what about runs? I thought, didn't we establish that he was the all-time leader in runs? Why is oh, never mind. I was like, he's right there. For some reason, I was not seeing him at the top of the list. And WAR, so he just edged out Babe Ruth by a mere, 25 WAR there. And average, let's see, stolen bases, he ended up third all-time behind Tim Reed Sr. and, of course, Greg Jeffries. Doubles, he ended up with 497. I don't think that's going to put... No, that's not putting him there. Home runs, so he's fifth behind Hank Aaron, A-Rod, Babe Ruth, and McGwire. Now, of course, remember, this is resimmed starting from 1984, so that's why like A-Rod is here, McGuire's here, Bonds isn't, etc. So a pretty good career from Mike Trout. I'd say he became the best player ever. Not that you can just go down a WAR leaderboard and rank players in that order, but I think if you're better than the next guy by 25-ish plus WAR, I think I'll call you the best player ever. So Luis Castillo, one of the best pitchers ever, which really is just what warms my heart here. But Mike Trout, also one of the best hitters ever. Thanks for watching. I know you guys, this 1984 Forward Sim, I've done a few episodes where I answered questions, and now I've simmed ahead another 10 years, so you might think, let's dig into some more questions. I'm not going to do this further with this sim because I'm going to have a different sim where I sim way further ahead from present day MLB. That'll be coming up soon. Maybe my next video. I'm not exactly sure the order yet, but I'm going to be recording that soon. So we'll get into those kind of questions. A few present day players like Vlad Jr., Tatis, Soto, all those guys. We'll get into that in a different sim that I'm working on now. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.